shall we begin?
Let's begin now.
Welcome. Thought it's about time I did a bit of a bench update, as everyone else is doing a bench update. I've done one, and I've been rather quiet. It's, you know, January, February, very, I don't know, not very nice times. Anyway, we'll start off with, I'm going to have to be swapping between two cameras, so I'm going to have to, you know, jump from side to side. So we'll kick off with the 109. It is the 109, yeah, the motor torpedo boat, and we'll have a little look at that one to start off with. Okay, the first one we'll look at is the 109. I've got 2 coats of primer on it, and I really did struggle getting 2 coats of primer on. She's that big, I can't manoeuvre her around in my spray booth, even though my spray booth is quite big. So I've put it to one side for the moment because I'm building a slightly larger spray booth in my other shed, so I can actually get her finished off and sprayed. I'm still working on bits and pieces, the guns, and I'm getting them all done as I'm building that, but it's going to take me a bit of time. It's like everything else, there's lots of other bits and pieces to do, so, and I'm waiting on bits, to be quite honest. I'm waiting on a fan for it, so as soon as that comes I'll get on with it. So the next one we'll have a look at will be the D9R, I think it is, yeah, it's the bulldozer. Right, the D9R, she's nearly complete actually. I'm still sort of like fiddling and fettling and doing little bits and pieces. I've got some of the weathering done, not all of it, I haven't finished it completely. She needs some dust and some other bits and pieces, but she's getting there. I can't turn that way. Let's move it back. As you can see, I'm all set up for this. Really, I enjoyed building this kit actually. It was a real nice kit. This was the one that my young lady brought me, and she's actually brought me another kit which she'll show you a bit later on. Well, that's how this one stands. She's just got to be put together. I need to get some dust and bits and pieces, but she's there. The only thing I wasn't too happy about was the decals. I'm going to take this one off here. It's goes on and it's being left quite wrinkly and quite, I don't know, I just don't like it. There is some individual ones there, so I think I might use them and cut. I think you can just see there that you've got a complete block of clear over the 92. They do some individual ones on the sheet, so I think I'm going to take the individual ones and cut them back as far as I can to the actual letter or numbers and then put them on. I know it's a bit more of a pain, but I just don't like the look of that. But all in all, that's how she stands at the moment, and this hopefully will be finished in a week or so's time. I ain't going to put no deadlines on myself. I just keep fettling away and doing bits and pieces. Like I say, January and February are very strange months. I just can't get me mojo up to really crack into anything, but we will do. Spring is just around the corner. Anyway, that's the bulldozer, and we'll move on next to the Little Ferguson. Now, what can I say about the Little Ferguson? This has been, I think this has been my saviour, I think, over the last month or so, because this little tractor has really kept me going, kept my interest in doing things. I think it's nice to do something that is not olive drab, but okay, it's grey, but it's shiny. It's nice. As you can see, she's had a couple of coats of gloss and a nice shiny clear coat. I've started to do some of the sort of like finer details, you know, like the distributor cap and leads and bits and pieces like that, There's still a long way to go, and I'm not in no rush to finish this. I'm really not in no rush. Simple reason is I've got another 2 of these kits which I bought. After I bought this one, I bought another 2 straight after, and I've got a couple of little builds I want to do through the year that I've got in mind for the little Ferguson. Especially there's going to be one that's going to be a total conversion job for my tractor that I used to have on when I was a young lad on the farm, and that's a diesel one, and there's a lot of conversions because this is a petrol. The engines are slightly taller, and there's all bits and pieces that have to be totally converted on this to make it look like a diesel. So that's the Fergie. Like I say, she's come along really nice. She's a nice little tractor. I mean, really enjoy doing this one, and watch this space on this one, because this will probably pop up at any time, because like I say, I'm not setting myself no time limits this year. I'm just going to keep plodding away and fettling away and doing bits and pieces. So that's the Ferguson. Now I can't remember what else I've got on the go. Oh, we'll go to one that didn't quite make Steve Mottram's group build. Okay, this is My Little Sky's Chieftain. Yes, it is a Chieftain, isn't it? And she's been working away on it, and this is how it stands, bless her. I mean, she didn't meet the deadline, but I'm so proud of her, and I'm going to keep this on my bench update, because she still keeps coming back, and she keeps doing bits and pieces, and she has done an absolute fantastic job on it, and she really has. And I was talking to Steve a few days ago, and I was just telling him that the bits I actually had to help her with, and that was on the rubber tracks, was to melt the pins over on the actual track itself to, you know, make it into one piece. I helped her with, well actually no, I didn't help her, I did it, and that was join the lower and the upper hull together, because it's rather fiddly and rather difficult for her to do, so I did that for her. The light guards on the front, I literally held them while she glued them, and that's the help I gave her on that. And the barrel, she couldn't quite get the clamps onto the barrel and get the seam right, so I helped her on that. Everything else she's done herself, and I'm really proud of her. And the great thing about it, even the barrel lock on the back. Now, every time I go to do mine, I always end up gluing the fucking things, but she actually got hers to work. So I think I better watch myself, because all in all, I think she's done a fantastic job. And next one, we're going to have a look at my poor effort that I didn't make Steve's end build either. Okay, the Sherman with the dozer blade on, as you can see, in a very, very sorry state. I would have made it if I could have got the tracks. I ordered some tracks from Hysterex, and little did I know, I actually ordered and paid for them, and they emailed me, but it went into my spam, telling me that they hadn't got them in stock. And of course I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I got really pissed off with them, waiting for them. So I actually emailed them to sort of like say, where's these bleeding tracks? And they said, well, we did email you and tell you that they were out of stock. And I'm still waiting for them to come into stock, so I don't know really what's going on. But as soon as I get the tracks for this, I will get the tracks on and get it finished. There isn't a great deal. It's mainly weathering now. Get the tracks on, get it weathered, get this blade looking like it's been used, and then a small base. It will be completed, and it will be put onto a little diorama base of some shape, size or description, with no Germans, because this was Korean era, I think. So I shall have to think of something quite sensible to do that. And the next thing we won't even move on to it because I've got to dig it out. I'll go back to me. That's it, I'll go back to me. Okay, I know you didn't really want to come back to me, but there you go. What else have I got? I've got the Striker, it's down here, with the mine rolling set, which I'm going to be getting on with very soon. Lots of parts. This is not going to be one that I'm really going to worry about. It's going to be one of them ones, you know, when you don't fancy doing, you don't want to do no painting, you don't want to do this, you just think to yourself, I just want to do a bit of building. It's going to be one of them. I'm just putting that on the side and I'm going to keep, you know, doing it bits and pieces. Other things that I've got to go, the 88mm, which I have here, which has had its grey colour because it was sandy. So that's been coated up, and I'm actually working on finishing the diorama for that as well, because that's been outstanding for a long time. The tram, I don't know, I've just for some unknown reason I just lost it there for a while with it. I have been busy with the people getting into shot. They're all I'm starting to get them together. I've got German troops for the 88mm on the go as well, and it's just, at the moment I'm just sort of like flickering between bits and pieces, and I know I should get the act together and sort of get going, but that's the way it is. It's just these couple of months. I just don't like January, February, March. I'm looking forward to the springtime and summertime. I have one other thing though, because I've decided this year, all I'm going to do this year, I'm going to enter group builds. That's all I'm going to do. I've got one thing that is going to be a build through the year, but it's a build that will start with one thing and move up to a lot of other things, but it's nothing set in concrete, because I just want to try a few other bits and pieces. I don't know, I know Steve's doing trying to put together this Gulf War thing, which I would like to enter. My Sky has already picked her kit, which she's got, and she wants to enter that one because she missed out on the other one. I'd like to do, I want to do something on the little bit of modern armour, just a change, not as, it's better to sort of dabble in different ponds than it is to keep fishing in one big pond. So, and also Jens is hosting the one for the cheese, like the camera one, which I'm going to be entering into that one. Got a good one for that. I've got a good one for this one. So that will start in April. So I'm thinking this year I'm just going to dabble with group builds and not have nothing really set there. But saying all that, everything changed a couple of days ago on my plans. Now, when I started modelling, I did the 60 centimetre mortar on the railway bed, and I said I always wanted to get some other bits and pieces to go with it, and the train that I wanted, I ain't going to try and pronounce it, the 52, that German train, 52, yeah, when I looked at the price of it, it was about 130, 140 quid, and I thought to myself, I ain't paying that. I am not paying that. And lo and behold, my young lady, massive box, my young lady, get it into shot. Look what she got me. She got me this, and she got it off eBay. I know it's second hand, I know the box is dented and marked, but the seals weren't even broken. The original seals were not broken. When I got it, I had to break the seals on it, and she bought it as part of my Christmas present. Now this has changed everything. This has changed everything, because this is one of the kits that I've wanted to build to go with the mortar, and also to go with two flat carriages, flatbed gondolas they're called, two flat gondolas and two anti-aircraft machine guns, and what else is there? Oh, is it the SS tank transporter by Trumpeter? You see, I was collecting bits, and the train was the thing that was missing from the jigsaw. And I don't know if you know, but I got rid of all my stash just after Christmas, the whole shabam. Well, not actually the whole shabam. I kept certain bits back, which I'm doing, the boat and all that lot, because it got to a point where I knew I weren't going to be building a lot of that stuff. And it was nice because I got a nice big wedge of money, which is folded up now in, well, actually it's folded into my bank account. But that money now is that I can buy stuff as I need it and as I'm building things, because it was just stupid having all that money sat there and not really being able to use it on what I'm actually building. And a lot of the kits I bought, and I know I would build them. I want to just buy kits, build them, that's it, end of conversation. Wasn't enough for that. So I kept back the two gondolas, the two flatbed gondolas. I kept back the tank, because that was quite expensive actually, because it's just a square piece of bloody plastic with train wheels on, and I think it was about 60 quid. And even the gondolas were about 30 quid a piece when I bought them. You know, they're stupid money, and there's nothing to them. I don't know what they're charging all the money for. Anyway, I got them, and I want to do a big long diorama with the train, the mortar, a couple of the flatbed with the anti-aircraft guns on and sandbags, and the other bits and pieces to go with it. The tank transporter. The tank transporter is for the tank that brings the shells to the mortar, if you get my drift. Because they had a special little tank. I think it was a Panzer 3 or 4. I'm not sure. I'm not up on it. I'm going to have to get a bit more genned up on it. And I've actually got that one. I've actually got it done, and it's sat on my shelf. So I'm going to sort of like just finish it all off now and build it all into one. That's the only thing that I've now going to be set for the year. And besides that, there's nothing else. Like I say, I hope Steve gets this group build kicked off, the golf one. Looking forward to that. I was speaking to him, and he was hinting that he wanted me to give him a hand. I don't know what giving him a hand means. If I give him a hand, that means I can't enter myself. So if that's the case, my good mate John, bless him, because he ordered the T55, and I reckon me and John were split at birth, because we think the same way, because he had the same notion of doing the burnt out T55, the same as what I've done. So what I wanted to do, and he actually said to me, he said, well, he didn't actually call me a bastard, but I could read between the lines what he meant, like when he said, oh, I was going to do that one, but I haven't got the kit here yet. So I could read between the lines that he was calling me a bastard for getting in there first. But John, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. And that's about it. That's about it. I can't think of anything else. It's just been very quiet and everything else. I've been spending quite a bit of time on my other channel, 1/35 scale diorama builds, which I must admit I really enjoy the building side of it, because I'm an ex-builder, I suppose, and it's actually leaving this channel standing. It's I think it's up to about 400 subscribers now, and I think to myself, well, people are more interested in me doing building work than they are me building a kit. Well, kit's a kit, I suppose, and that's the way it goes. But I ain't gonna give this little channel up. I'm still gonna be building my kits. I'm still gonna be doing all my bits and pieces, but all the like diorama stuff and all that stuff, I'm going to transfer all over to that site and leave it there, and I'm just going to keep this channel just for me builds and scratch builds and bits and pieces like that. Then if anybody wants to see what I'm doing, well, you can always hop across there and have a look, can't you? So that's about it. I'm just going to say thank you very much for joining me. I know it's late, but everyone have a great year, a good happy new year, and hope you all had a great Christmas, and I hope this year brings you a lot better things than they did last year. That's all I can say. So thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.